Good afternoon, everyone. Hello. Hello again. It's day 8 today of our 14-day to a healthier mind challenge. Hope you are well. Hope all is good wherever you are. Hope the sun is shining. And if it's not, that's okay too, right? Because maybe it's raining. And I'm sorry, I'm just looking out of the window here to see our sun is shining beautifully here in Johannesburg. So I don't know, wherever you are, I hope you're having a really good day today. Thank you for taking time out today out of your busy day to be with me. I always start these sessions by saying to you, that you could be anywhere else in the world, like genuinely. You could be finishing off some emails, you could be going for a run, you could be doing a whole bunch of stuff, but you've chosen to be here with yourself today and to look after your mental well-being. So thank you. Thank you for doing that. And as I ask you to do often is just thank yourself for a moment. So take a moment and just say thank you. Thank you for putting yourself first. Thank you for putting half an hour aside to look after your self-care. It's so incredibly important, right? Okay, so let's jump straight into it then. So like I said, it's day 8 of our 14-day challenge to a healthier mind. And if you joined us for day 7, we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun empowering your superpowers, kicking in your superpowers. Okay, if you missed it, this is pretty much what we spoke about yesterday. We spoke about the fact that stress has got a bad rap. The word stress got a bad rap, man, because stress technically is a superpower. It turns you into a superhuman. This is a true story, seriously, right? Because as soon as you encounter what we would refer to as a stressful situation, the first thing that happens, the little amygdala sends a signal to the hypothalamus part of the brain, which pushes a little button. And this little button activates adrenaline, noradrenaline, and a whole bunch of other stuff in our body. And what this does is it heightens our senses. Our heart rate rises, pumping more blood through the body. Our respiration and our blood pressure increases. Our energy reserves are liberated into our bloodstream. Our immune system is launched into action. We produce these incredible hormones, CRH and oxytocin. They make us resistant to pain, and they even give us feelings of euphoria. And as this happens, we turn into our best possible version of our fight or our flight to deal with this very stressful situation that's about to happen to us. And then straight after that, a few minutes later, our hypothalamus switches on another button, and this gives us a short-term burst of cortisol. And cortisol is amazing. It enhances our immune system. It regulates, stabilizes, and responds or helps the responsiveness of the immune system. It also alters our metabolism. It elevates our blood sugar level. It maintains our blood pressure and our blood volume. And that helps us recover after this very stressful situation. So our body is really incredible. Our brain, really, really incredible. And short-term stress can be an incredible advantage and really, really helpful to us. The example of this is in sports people. Sports people manage to be able to find these reserves from somewhere, that when the adrenaline kicks in and the cortisol kicks in, they can go from jumping 2 meters to jumping just that extra 2 meters 30 or that extra 2 meters 40. And they have the ability to use the stress effectively. And if you think of many of your difficulties in your life that you've managed to overcome, you've managed to overcome complex situations, and a lot of it was very stressful. And little did you know that behind the scenes, your brain was working for you. It was working for you. It was trying to get, well, it was not trying, it was giving you as much as you need to get through those situations, for you to come up with a plan, for you to solve a problem. So stress is really gotten a bad rap. It's gotten a bad rap. But, however, as we spoke about yesterday, with great superpowers, friends, comes great responsibility. Here's the deal. You cannot activate this too frequently or for too long, because if you do and you break these rules, your very superpower becomes the system that compromises your well-being, compromises your mental well-being, compromises you emotionally and you physically. And these prolonged periods of adrenaline, of cortisol, of noradrenaline, these shorten your lifespan. Adrenaline has detrimental effects on our digestive system, our urogenital system, our immune system, our cardiovascular system. We're talking our stomach, our kidneys, our hearts, our immune system. All of these things, detrimental effects on those. And then cortisol, that's the second wave. Remember the second button that's pushed? Well, that too has massive implications on your digestive system, weight gain. You reduce the ability or say insulin sensitivity, your immune system gets severely affected by this. It physically causes your brain to shrink, creates disconnections in the parts of the brain that work together, damages all of these regions that help us actually deal with stress. It impacts our focus, our memory, our attention, our cognitive potential, and even lowers our motivation for life. It promotes fear and anxiety, emotional instability, and promotes our anti-social behavior. That's what chronic stress does. So isn't that interesting, right? I love this idea. I love this idea, not the bad stuff, I don't love that, but I love this idea that like stress has this incredible ability to help us in the moment, but when we abuse that in the moment, it has detrimental effects on us, So as we spoke yesterday, our job right here, when it comes to helping ourselves have a healthy mind and how we sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? How we protect ourselves almost from the long-term effects of stress is the stress resilience. We spoke a little bit about it yesterday, and we started by saying, first of all, just realize that you can overcome anything that you've ever had to overcome. Why? Because you're here today. It's that simple. I know that sounds a little bit cliched and a little bit silly, but that's the reality. You have the ability to overcome anything that is thrown at you. How do I know this? Because you're with me today. You have overcome anything, the most stressful situations, the most difficult things, the toughest of grief, the toughest of tragedies. You've survived it all. You're with me today. There you are. Yeah. Take a moment to, again, appreciate that. Appreciate that no matter what comes at you, if you can learn to use this short-term stress effectively and efficiently, you can overcome absolutely anything. What we, however, don't want to do is prolong the stress, prolong adrenaline, noradrenaline, as well as cortisol being pumped into the body all the time. We don't want to do that. Now, something else happens when a stressful situation comes at us. The brain and the body, very clever things, very, very clever things. I want to, again, take a moment just to stress that I have oversimplified this, that I'm not a doctor, that I'm not a neuroscientist, and I've genuinely oversimplified what's happening in the brain and the body, but this gives us a pretty good picture of what's going on. So there's a third thing that happens here. Your body releases a hormone. I spoke about it in the beginning, but it releases a hormone in that first stage called oxytocin. Oxytocin has a very powerful effect on both our psychological and physical well-being. And it's released during stress to counteract those other harmful actions of adrenaline and of cortisol. In other words, it creates this biological balance in the state of crisis. So what I'm saying is that the brain knows that adrenaline and cortisol can be dangerous if abused, and so it puts in a little fail-safe. Oxytocin puts in a little fail-safe for us to say, hold on, this net will catch you. This hormone will help regulate that. Up until recently, we had very little knowledge about this hormone other than it was the hormone that spiked when we gave birth, childbirth, human bonding, and very much in maternal behaviors. Now, if you think about it from a physical and emotional perspective, childbirth is probably the single most stressful point in any woman's life. And so at that time, you get this hormone shot, this oxytocin peaks at childbirth. So again, this is the body's way, the brain's way of saying, hold on, I know you're going through a really stressful situation. Let me give you something to help you with that. Let me give you a hormone to help you regulate that. So one of my favorite studies about this hormone is, it's called The Role of Oxytocin in Social Bonding, Stress Regulation, and Mental Health. And it points out that oxytocin does the following things. Okay, first, it helps us heal quicker. So any physical damage to the body helps us with that. It helps us with pro-social behavior. It helps us to be kind, compassionate, and caring. It gives us a better self-image and perception of ourselves. Helps us to be more confident, helps us to fear less, helps us to be more optimistic, gives us a sense of calmness, generosity, connectedness, empathy towards others. I know I'm rattling off here, but it does all of these things. It lowers our heart rate, it lowers our blood pressure. It has incredible anti-inflammatory actions and antioxidant effects. Isn't this a beautiful profile of things? I mean, this sounds like real human flourishing to me. The ability to have a good self-image, confidence, fearlessness, optimism about the future, a sense of calm, generosity. I mean, this is what I want, man. This is what I want, right? And a lot of this is the very opposite of the symptoms we were speaking about yesterday of chronic stress. So essentially what I'm saying to you is oxytocin acts as an emotional antidote to stress. Here's the thing, however. This hormone, it metabolizes in the body really, really quickly. And what happens is in that stressful situation, you get a shot of it and its effectiveness only lasts for about 1 to 6 minutes. And this is, again, for me, if we look at our past as humans, we would confront a stressful situation. We would have to deal with it, and the body's going, cool, quick shot of oxytocin to help, quick shot of adrenaline, in comes the cortisol, deal with it, move on, you're all good. Okay, that's pretty much how it's programmed to work. That's unfortunately how me and you don't operate. We operate on the stress curve of going and going and going and going and going. And we keep on putting ourselves and working in these stressful situations all the time. So lots of adrenaline, lots of cortisol, little bit of oxytocin, lots of adrenaline, lots of cortisol. And so the oxytocin really not doing its job, right? Adrenaline making us sick, mentally and physically. Cortisol making us sick, mentally and physically. So like we said yesterday, we have to learn to become more stress resilient. So hold on, we've got this hormone. Can we not just find a way to get more shots of this hormone? Can we not just find a way to trigger this hormone more and more and more? Is that not the key? The answer is, friends, yes, it is one of the keys. It is one of the keys. So we have this ability, we have this stuff, this oxytocin stuff that can help us right here, right now. And all we have to do is get more frequent surges of this hormone. So the hypothalamus and the pituitary glands, they help this, they give you these shots, and we need to stimulate that more regularly. So I like to think of it as a oxytocin bar. So I'm not going to lie to you, when I was younger, I was known to have a few shots at the bar. Now, I don't do that anymore, but nothing wrong with it though, but I used to, right? And so I would line them up and then we would have shots together, right? We've all done that before. Now I want you to imagine that you are going to the oxytocin bar and we have to give ourselves more shots of this hormone because this hormone helps us deal with that stress. And yesterday we spoke about this. We spoke about the fact that if we're going to come into stressful situations, how do we become more resilient to it? This is one of the ways, by going to your oxytocin bar. Okay. Oxytocin bar, that's what I want to go to. So let's talk about some of the ways in which research now shows us that we can get a surge of this hormone. The first one is a really interesting one, and it's where the idea, some people call this the love hormone, and it comes from this idea that we can measure this hormone and the release of this hormone, and it is at a larger level when we are hugging others. It's true. When we are lightly touching others, like holding hands, through massage, or through prolonged eye contact. True story. So oxytocin gets released when you do all of those things. So this is why it's called the love hormone, because when we hug the people that we love, when we hold their hands, when we look into their eyes longingly, we get a shot. We get a shot. We get a shot. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. That's good. We can do that, right? So I want you to hug someone that you love today, safely. Okay, so maybe you're living in the same house with them. And do you notice how, as we have been speaking over the last 8 days, how this pandemic has played such, it's run riot in our own mental health space, right? And can you see why? Because all of these things that help us are being taken away from us. We can't hug others. We can't touch others' hands. We can't go for a massage. Maybe we could sort of look at a screen, but I don't think it has the same effect of eye contact, right? And so you can see how detrimental this entire pandemic and lockdown has been to our mental health. So if there is someone that you can hug them, give them a proper big hug. Not right now, but later on today, okay? Give them a hug. If you can hold hands with someone you love, do that. Hold their hands, right? If you can go for a massage, go for a massage. And if you can just stare into the eyes of the person you love, do that. You're getting a shot of this hormone that helps you. The next one is if we play with pets. This is a true story. So I don't know if you like pets or if you have pets, but it helps. Okay, so at the Oxytocin bar, there are pets. You play with pets, you get a shot. Brilliant. The next one is quality time, conversations, and connections with partners and friends. We're going to unpack this a little bit later, I think in day 10 or 11. So I'm going to skip over that for a moment. But today, what I really want to focus on is I want to focus on pro-social behavior. Acts of kindness, caring for others, giving to others, and feeling real empathy towards others. Each one of these gives you a shot of oxytocin.
Sometimes it's easy to feel like the world's getting harder. But if we look closer, on the news, on the web, on the street, we're anything but unkind. Every day, we hear new stories of people trying to make the world a better place. And together, we can make the world that little bit kinder for all of us. It all starts with just one person, you. The thing about kindness is that it's just about the only thing in the world that doubles when you share it. And it's a fact, backed by science. Studies have shown that if you perform just one random act of kindness a day, you'll not only reduce your stress, anxiety, and depression, but your body is flooded with the same hormones that make you and the person you've helped calmer, healthier, and happier. Serotonin, which heals your wounds, helps you relax and makes you feel good. Endorphins, which reduce pain. And oxytocin, which reduces blood pressure and makes you feel more loving and loved. You'll both be more energized, feel less aches and pains, more confident, and could even live longer. And if other people see you helping someone else, they'll be filled with those same feel-good hormones, meaning they're significantly more likely to pay it forward. Like taking that extra moment to hold the elevator for someone, spotting a coffee for a stranger who's just a few cents short, giving your neighbor a hand with their groceries, even just smiling and meaning it. It doesn't take much, but it can make a huge difference for everyone. Those people you've helped will help other people, and those other people will help even more people. And those random acts of kindness can start a chain reaction that can spread across an entire community, a city, a country, and with enough of us, the world. Now, isn't that the world we all want? And it all starts with one.
All right, I love that, right? And that just speaks a little bit about the science of kindness and how it all works. And it's exactly what me and you have been saying, right? Or what I've been saying, is that this pro-social behavior, kindness, it's this little shot of oxytocin that you get that allows you to sort of look after or become more stress resilient. That's what it does. So what are we saying? We're saying caring for others. We're saying charity, and we're saying compassion and verbal support for others. All three of these things are like going to the oxytocin bar. True story. So we get a shot of this when we are kind to others. That is, again, for me, pretty mind-blowing, because we know how important kindness is towards us. We know how important it is when people are kind towards us, when people are caring towards us, when people show charity towards us, when people are compassionate towards us, when they give us verbal support. But now, little did you know that when you do the same to them or for them, you help yourself. It's the number one way, besides hugging, holding each other's hands, or staring into each other's eyes, that you can get this oxytocin hit, this hormone that helps us deal with stress by practicing this pro-social behavior, by caring for others, by charity, by compassion, by verbal support, gives you a shot of this hormone that we have established earlier on, we need to help us reduce the effect of chronic long-term stress. Now, the nice thing about kindness is a muscle. It's a muscle that we can strengthen when we practice it. And how do we know that? Simply put, every thought and every action fires off a neuron in our brain. And the more these neural pathways are fired, the easier it becomes to activate them. So the more we repeat acts of kindness, the easier it is for them in the future. Now, you might be saying to me, Grant, I don't know if I'm a naturally like a kind person. I'm not a selfish person, but I'm not like a naturally kind person. You know what I mean? So this should help you, because the reality is we can build this. And if as we've seen, this helps, this is like going to the non-stress bar, then we need to start practicing it, right? We have to start practicing it. So I'm going to give you 4 ways in which you can do this. One of them involves a practice. The other 4, take a listen to this. The first one is a really important one. It starts with your intention. It literally starts with you intending to do this. Now, how does this help you? Well, the first step towards being kinder is literally the intention. Writing it down and saying to yourself, and not necessarily writing it down, but waking up in the morning and saying, okay, cool, I am going to apply kindness today. Now, research shows us that this good intention, this is really interesting. When we are acting in other people's best interests and they can see that, this improves their experience of us and makes the encounter towards them more pleasurable. But if we are cynical and a difficult person, when we act in kindness, they think we're just being cynical or we want something out of it. And so their experience is lessened and our physical hit of oxytocin is lessened. So what I'm trying to say to you is that if you go into the world with a very skeptical, very cynical mindset, if we approach the world with that, it doesn't do this kind action that me and you are going to do. It doesn't do us as effectively as if we go into the world with a positive and an optimistic mindset, one that people are attracted to, people that want to be around you, people want to spend more time with you. And in a small but very significant way, people with good intentions, we make the world a better place. And so it's our job to go into it with good intentions. So I want you to start with an intention to be kinder. It's that simple. Start with an intention to be kinder. Start and write it down. Put it somewhere. Put it in a book somewhere. Write it down. Meditate on it. Think about it. But start with that intention. I am going to be a kinder person. I'm going to execute on that. That's my action plan. Okay, so that's the first thing I want you to do. The second thing is one of the best ways to be and to practice kindness and pro-social behavior is the practice of what we call perception taking. Pretty much scientifically supported to increase our empathy and our kindness towards others, simply to see the world from other people's perspectives. So the aim of this technique is to imagine ourselves experiencing a situation from another person's point of view. How would they feel about this? So in other words, ask yourself the question, how would you feel if you were them? What thoughts would you have? How would you act if you were in their shoes? By answering these simple questions, we gain a deeper understanding of why people act the way they act, and perception taking helps us to step out of our narrow mind into seeing the world through other people's eyes, and this helps us become kinder. So step number 2 is see the world from other people's perspectives. Then step number 3 is start small. Start small. Little acts of kindness, little random acts of kindness. They work, I promise you. Opening up a door, smiling at someone. They don't have to be big. They don't have to be massive actions. Just start small every day. So we've got the intention. We've got this idea of seeing the world through others' perceptions. And then start today with small little acts of kindness. And finally, we're going to do a practice now together. And this practice is really incredible. So I love this research that they've done with this practice, right? What they did is they got people to do the practice me and you are about to do. And then they put them in a simulated game. And their aim was to win the game. Okay, their aim wasn't to do anything else. They were told, go and win this game. And they were playing a game up against other people. And then what they did in this game is they got their actors to get hurt, to fall down, to drop things. And those people that were practicing this practice, They were kinder to those people that got hurt. They were kinder to those people that dropped things. They were kinder people simply by practicing this practice we're about to do with your eyes closed. Literally, they became kinder. And that's just one of many studies that'll tell you that your ability to grow kindness can start right now through this practice. So let's go to the oxytocin bar and let's together practice this. Why don't we? I'm going to ask you to just get into what I call the comfortable position. That's, be it seated, be it standing, just comfortably. And just close your eyes for me. Make sure that your feet are flat on the ground and that your spine is up nice and straight. All right. I want you to take a deep breath in and just relax your whole body. And then a deep breath out. And just relax and just gently listen to the instructions, take them in, and be able to practice this on your own after this. So the first thing I want you to do is bring up a loved one of yours, someone that you know loves you very much. Yeah, right, and sit that person in front of you. And I want you to imagine that they are giving you all that love that you know they give you. All that love, and I want you to just imagine that that love is flowing from them into you, and I want you to just lap it up, right? Just lap up all the love that they're giving you, and what we're doing here is we're replenishing our love, our little love silo, right? So we're just filling it up with all that love, and let that person that loves you just send that love to you. Okay, you've got it now, right? You've got lots of love. Okay, cool. Because what we're going to do now is we're going to start sharing it. Now I want you to bring another loved one to your awareness. This person is sitting right in front of you. Could be your mom, your dad, your uncle, your aunt, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife. Someone asked me once if it could be your dog. Absolutely. Someone you love, just put them in front of you. And I want you to really see them in front of you. And now what I want you to do is I want you to repeat the following phrases towards them. May you live with ease. May you be happy. May you be free from pain. May you live with ease. May you be happy. May you be free from pain. And when you do this practice on your own, repeat this once, twice, 3 times, and really, really feel that this person, that they may live with ease, that they may be happy, and they may be free from pain. Now I want you to imagine someone neutral sitting in front of you, someone that you don't really know sitting in front of you, right? Like someone that you might have bumped into at the store somewhere, but you know that you see them, but you don't really know them so well. Maybe a security guard, maybe your barista. And I want you to do exactly the same with this neutral person. May you be filled with happiness, health, and well-being. May you live with ease. May you be happy. May you be free from pain. And when you're practicing this on your own, you say this over and over with this person, and you really feel it. And finally, a difficult one, but I want you to expand your awareness and picture the whole globe in front of you. The whole globe in front of you as a little ball, all the people in the world, and I want you to send all of this love. Just as I wish to, may you and everyone live with ease, live with happiness, and have good health. Just as I wish to, may you live with ease, live with happiness, and live with good health. And after you've done this, you take a deep breath in, a deep breath out, and you eventually let go. And you notice your state of mind as you do this, and you try to do this every day, just for 5 minutes, as you practice this loving kindness practice. Because what does it do? It grows your kindness. It grows your ability to act kindly, to act in pro-social ways, which we now know is the oxytocin hit we need to help us deal with stress. So go to the oxytocin bar whenever you can. Go and practice it. Practice kindness. Intend to do kindness. Put yourself in other people's shoes. Start with small acts of kindness today, and then practice this practice we just did. 4 ways to grow kindness, to grow your pro-social behavior, your ability to care for others, your ability to give to others, your ability to be there for others. Why? Because this is like going to the oxytocin bar, taking a shot of the hormone that helps us deal with stress. I hope that's helped you. I will see you again tomorrow for day 9, when we will continue this discussion around going to the bar of oxytocin. We're going to add another hormone in there. And as we do that, we are going to grow our stress resilience. Okay, so day 9 tomorrow of growing a healthy mind. I'll see you then. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye, everyone.